Hello, and welcome to Intelligent Pod, the show where we break down the big ideas shaping our lives, our world, and, well, our minds. I'm your host, Sophie Lane, and today we're diving into a topic that's been making waves everywhere, from government policy to your favorite shopping app, the ethics of nudging. Yes, we're talking about nudging, those subtle ways our choices are influenced, often behind the scenes, and whether it's really for our own good. Is it a helpful hand or a slippery slope? By the end of this episode, you'll have the tools to spot a nudge, understand its impact, and decide where you stand on its ethics. So, let's get started. First, let's set the stage. What exactly is a nudge? The term comes from behavioral economics, especially the work of Richard Thaler and Cass Sunstein, whose groundbreaking book Nudge was published back in 2008. A nudge is any aspect of the way choices are presented that alters people's behavior in a predictable way, without forbidding any options or significantly changing their economic incentives. In other words, you still have free choice, but the choice architecture is designed to steer you in a particular direction. Let's make this real. Have you ever noticed how the healthy snacks are placed at eye level in your office vending machine, while the sugary treats are down by your knees? Or maybe you've signed up for a retirement plan at work and you were automatically enrolled unless you opted out. Those are nudges. Nobody's forcing your hand, but the system is designed to make the better choice easier, or just the default. Sometimes, nudges are so subtle we barely notice. Supermarkets put fruit at the front of the store. Apps prompt you with reminders to meditate, hydrate, or take a walk. Even "Are you sure you want to unsubscribe?" pop-ups are a form of nudge. And it works. Studies show that simply changing the default option, say from opt-in to opt-out for organ donation, can dramatically increase participation rates. In Spain and Austria, where organ donation is opt-out, donation rates are much higher than in countries like the United States, where you have to opt in. Now, let's talk numbers. According to a 2022 study published in the journal Nature Human Behavior, behavioral nudges in public health campaigns, like reminders to get vaccinated, boosted participation rates by an average of 8 to 15%. That's huge, especially when we're trying to tackle big challenges like public health or climate change. But here's where things get tricky. If nudging can be this powerful, is it always ethical to use it? Who gets to decide what's good for us? Let's start with the psychological perspective. Our brains are wired to take shortcuts, what psychologists call heuristics, to make decisions quickly and with minimal effort. Nudges leverage these shortcuts, like our tendency to stick with the default or follow what most people are doing. But is it fair to use our cognitive quirks against us, even for good outcomes? Let's take the classic cafeteria experiment. In a famous study by Brian Wansink and colleagues, simply rearranging food in a school cafeteria, putting fruit and salads at the start of the line, boosted healthy eating by 25%. That's a win for nutrition, right? But critics argue that nudging can feel manipulative, especially if people aren't aware that their choices are being influenced. From a scientific angle, proponents argue that nudging can solve problems where traditional methods, like rules or financial incentives, fall short. For example, research from the University of Chicago found that sending simple text reminders to students and parents about college deadlines increased college enrollment by up to 15%. No penalties, no bribes, just a gentle nudge. But let's not forget the cultural perspective. In some cultures, autonomy and personal freedom are highly prized. In others, community well-being is more important. What counts as a good nudge, or an ethical one, can depend on who you ask. For instance, in Japan, nudges to promote cleanliness and recycling are widely accepted, but in other places, even the whiff of manipulation can cause backlash. Here's a real-life anecdote. In the UK, the government set up a nudge unit, officially the Behavioral Insights Team, in 2010. One of their early successes was sending letters to people who owed taxes, mentioning that most people in your area pay their taxes on time. Just that gentle social nudge boosted on-time payments, bringing in millions in revenue. The approach was later copied around the world. But it also sparked a debate. Is it right for the government to nudge citizens into compliance, even for something as important as paying taxes? Where's the line between persuasion and manipulation? Let's pause for a second and think about intent. Is the nudge designed to benefit the individual, the organization, or society as a whole? And are we being transparent about it? Thaler and Sunstein themselves argue that nudges should be transparent and easy to opt out of, what they call libertarian paternalism. In other words, help people make better choices that don't take away their freedom. But here's where things get murkier. Let's say a tech company uses nudging to keep you scrolling, clicking, buying, or binge-watching. Is that still for your own good, or is it just good for their bottom line? The same techniques that help you save for retirement can also be used to push you into spending more money or sharing more data. In a digital world, the line between helpful and harmful nudges can blur very quickly. So, what can we do about it? Here are some actionable steps you can take to be more aware of nudges and use them wisely in your own life. First, start noticing the nudges around you. Pay attention to defaults. Are you being automatically signed up for something, or do you have to take action to opt in? Are you being steered toward certain choices by rewards, reminders, or how options are framed? Once you start looking, you'll see nudges everywhere, from airline booking sites to fitness trackers to the way you arrange your fridge at home. Second, ask yourself, who benefits from this nudge? If it's designed to help you make healthier, safer choices, it may be automatic. Or more informed decisions, it's probably a well-intentioned nudge. If it's just trying to extract more time, money, or data from you, it might be time to push back. Third, use nudging on yourself. Set your own defaults to support your goals. Want to eat healthier? Put fruit at the front of your fridge. Want to save more money? Set up automatic transfers to your savings account. Want to read more? Put a book by your bed instead of your phone. Finally, advocate for transparency. When organizations nudge, they should be upfront about it. Look for privacy policies, opt-out options, and clear explanations of why you're being nudged in a certain direction. And if you're in a position to design choices for others, at work, at home, in your community, ask yourself, am I empowering people or just steering them where I want them to go? Let's recap. Today, we explored the ethics of nudging, what it is, how it works, and where the ethical boundaries might lie. We looked at the power of nudges to shape behavior for good, helping people eat better, save more, and stay healthy, but also the potential for abuse when nudges serve hidden agendas. Most importantly, we talked about how you can become a more informed, empowered decision-maker in a world full of nudges. So, as you go about your week, I invite you to notice the nudges in your life. Maybe you'll spot a few in your inbox, your grocery store, or even your own morning routine. Ask yourself, is this making my life better? Who's steering my choices, and am I okay with that? Thank you so much for joining me on Intelligent Pod. If you enjoyed today's episode, I'd be so grateful if you'd leave a review, share it with a friend, or visit intelligentpod.com for show notes and extra resources. I always love hearing from you, so drop me a line at sophie@intelligentpod.com with your thoughts, stories, or questions about today's topic. Remember, you might not always control the nudges around you, but you can always choose how you respond. Until next time, I'm Sophie Lane, and this is Intelligent Pod. Stay curious.